Good morning, seventh graders. Today we are going to continue with our study of the history of the world and how life has changed on the earth over time. And in order to do that, we need to study biodiversity. And so we're going to look through this slideshow and we're going to talk a little bit about biodiversity. But before we can do that, we need to think about what is an organism. So take a second, pause, and think in your head. We've talked about organisms a lot in class. What would you say an organism is? Think about that in your head. If you said that an organism is any living thing or something along those lines, you would be absolutely correct. This year, we've mainly focused on plants and animals. So, what I want you to do is I want you to think about what are some organisms that are not plants or animals. A hint in that would be what are some other living things besides plants and animals that we've looked at this year? Well, if you thought about bacteria, you would be correct, or paramecia. We looked at those under the microscope. Those are single-celled organisms. And another example of a multicellular organism would be fungus. So you can see two different examples of fungus down here. Now I'm going to go through a pretty extensive list of examples of organisms. And you're going to see pictures, and I'm going to read their names to you. And what I want you to do is I want you to think about what are some of the similarities, and more importantly, what are the differences between these organisms? What do you think is different about the things that you are seeing? There's a lot of examples, but you can always pause or rewind if you want to take a longer look at any of the organisms. So the first one is a deep sea anglerfish, pink fairy armadillo, sea pig, dog vomit slime mold, yuck, Tinkerbell fairy fly, orange penicillium fungus, a blue dragon, Dumbo octopus, a giant fruit bat, a bleeding tooth mushroom, ugh, that one's gross too. Panda ant, that one's kind of cool, it's one of my favorites. A maned wolf, a duckbill platypus, that one's pretty sweet too. An okapi, alien orchid, toucan, Venus flytrap, hummingbird hawk moth, that's a cool one. Earth star puffball, that's one of those if you step on it, the little spores come flying out of it. That's pretty cool. A hairy bush viper, no thank you. I will stay away from a hairy bush viper. E. coli bacteria, a water bear, a blobfish, a commodore, oh, that's so cute. A Chinese crested, a thorn bug, a geranuk, a seahorse, a honey fungus, mantis shrimp, passion flower, flypaper plant, jumping spider, caterpillar, passion flower, tabby cat, narwhal, oh, I love narwhals, harp seal, lowland streaked tenric, I think I said that wrong, a saiga antelope, parrotfish, thorny dragon, I bet that's one of Mushu's cousins, putu bird, a bearded tooth mushroom. So there was a lot of examples there, right? And it showed the biodiversity of our world. And the definition of biodiversity is the variety or difference of life in our world. So one of the questions you're going to have to answer today is how can you explain the biodiversity on our planet? How can you explain how life is so different on our planet? And remember, this is a what do you think question, right? So I want you to give me your thoughts. You might not know the fully correct answer, and that's okay. But I want you to do your best to think about it. And remember, if you want to go back and look at any of those examples again, you can rewind and just look at it right away again if you would like to. Again, this is your thoughts. how do you think that biodiversity, how do you think you can explain the biodiversity on our planet?